Good afternoon. I'm David Pierce. I'm going to be talking a little bit about an in-flight emergency that I think is important to think about, and that's night forced landings and everything that goes into thinking about that. So let's go to the next slide here. So some of the considerations for night flights that you should think about to be prepared for this type of emergency are you need to do a little more planning than you would during a normal day VFR flight. Of course, you want to be thinking about your glide distance, glide speed, but it's even more important during the nighttime where you can't see anything. Basically, to stay a little closer to airports and possibly major roads and things like that. So if you do have an emergency, you have a way to get out of it. Another thing I found is that flying IFR just as an additional safeguard. And that, you're guaranteed that the controller is watching what you're doing. They're helping you with altitude, other aircraft. A little more safe than just having flight following. And then, of course, flying higher to allow for more glide distance if you did lose an engine and were forced into a night forced landing. The last thing is, again, it's recommended that if you're flying over 5,000 feet to think about possibly using supplemental oxygen at night. That just helps you maintain better situational awareness and get better oxygen into your blood. So, next slide. So we'll look at immediate action on engine failure. This can be a little different based on your aircraft and looking at your POH. The operating manual, but the first thing you really need to think about is keeping control of the airplane. So initially, you may have a bit of a freak out moment, but the first thing you need to do is make sure that airplane is controllable, get it into your best glide speed, and then continue on. Basically though, after that you need to trouble start, see if you can restart the engine, see if there's anything you can do to get the power restored. If the engine's not going to start, take the mixture to idle cutoff, turn the fuel off, and then start searching for the possible landing area. Now you want to be near population, but again, you don't want to be landing in an area of a lot of lights, but you want to be at least close to that, so it'd be easier for emergency responders to find you. And then prior to touchdown, you want to turn your mags off, your master off, unlatch your doors, so if you do have a hard landing, your doors don't get crunched and you can't have any way out of the aircraft. Again, best glide to maximize your distance over the ground with your losing altitude. Attempt to remain calm and fly as far into the crash as you can to mitigate injuries and keep positive control of the airplane. I saw an interesting video of a guy who was flying, I believe it was an old Warbird in formation out to an air show. He lost engine power, turned back toward an airport, knew he wasn't going to land there, so put the gear up and basically put it down in a field. But you could see during the video that he was maintaining control of the airplane throughout the skid even. So once he landed, he was still trying to control the airplane, and he walked away from it. And then, of course, based on our commercial study, with that kind of serious incident, you need to notify NTSB. Though they probably already know, you still need to make sure they're aware of the situation. So that's my video presentation for the night force landing.